Welcome back, everyone, for another serving of Penal-Tea Time. Now, we've got some sad news to start with. So, as we've just gone to start filming, it was announced about an hour ago that Roger Hunt's died. So, and Jimmy Greaves obviously died last week, so we just thought we'd start with a moment just to, pay our respect and talk about two great footballing legends.
Definitely.
Yep.
One of Liverpool's greatest players in the past. But yeah, it seems to be the season for people passing. It happens every year about this time, doesn't it?
Everyone's allowed to go outside now, so they're always catching stuff and dying. I've said to the guys just before filming, I have severe freshers flu, mutant freshers flu, and I feel horrendous. Seems like everyone's got something at the minute.
I know too, yeah.
Yeah, you've got freshers flu, and you're not even a student, Damien.
I know.
But yeah, no, so that was quite sad before we started to film, especially considering he's part of the only World Cup winning team for England. I think, how many of them are actually still alive now?
I think about three.
About three, maybe two. Because we obviously last year we lost Jack Charlton. There was quite a few Leeds players that passed away over the last 2 years. But yeah, there's not many left.
I guess we'll have to win another World Cup to make up for it.
I think we'll be waiting a long time.
Yeah, we might be waiting another 60 years for that. We'll probably be dead before we win another World Cup.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. We never know when it's coming, do we? We never know. So, England games are coming up in the next couple of weeks.
Yes.
How do we feel that we're going to progress through, and who do we think is going to get into the team? Who's in contention for the places? Because
Ben White.
Yeah, I can see Ben coming back on a serious note. Yeah,
Ben's going to be back, I hope.
This man behind me has to be number one.
I mean, can we have Ben White instead of John Stones? I say this as a City fan. Stones has got injured. In the Euros, he missed the start of our season. He got injured on the last international break, and he's only just come back to full fitness. I don't want him to go and get injured again.
You see, would you take it? The thing is, England, it seems to pick so many defenders and not enough attackers, and I'm not sure why. Maybe because we're not really the best in defence, are we? As a nation, we don't have the best defenders in the world.
I mean, look at most of the English teams. How many of them actually have a strong English defence?
We've not had a strong English defence since the likes of, I'd say, John Terry, Ashley Cole,
Sol Campbell.
Sol Campbell were decent.
1966 when we won the World Cup, probably the last time we had a strong defence.
That was the last time we had a decent team across the pitch, wasn't it?
Pretty much so. It must have been, yeah, because it's the only time we've ever won anything.
Even though we've just got to a European Championship final.
Yeah.
Yeah. We didn't win it, so we can pass up on that.
With Ben White and his bench warming all summer.
Would you take, obviously, Harry Kane's he's going to be the first name on the team sheet every single time, I reckon, for Southgate.
I prefer Bamford.
Not this time,
would you bother taking him? What has he scored one goal or something?
I think since the whole City transfer debacle, he's not been playing well.
No.
Obviously, I know I watched the London derby. I know Reece will have and Damien did. I don't know if you did, Arron, but I don't think he played that well.
I actually fell asleep at half time.
That's how great the game was.
I'd seen the majority of everything that happened in the game before half time, so I was quite happy. But yeah, as you say, take Bamford. He's not done anything. I mean, I'm a little bit worried for Leeds, to be honest with you. I know we're only 4 or 5 games into the season, but
I think Bielsa needs to do something.
He's too stuck in his ways. He's got his certain ways and his certain players.
I was sat in Leeds watching. We were watching it in the hotel on a stream on my iPad. We were watching the Fulham game, me and my dad, and we were both just sat there you could.
Well, there you go. The Fulham game. We should have been burying chances there, and it finishes 0-0, and we're pretty much lucky enough to get through on penalties.
And Damien wanted Fulham to win.
I wanted to win my bet. Just saying.
I'm going to have to stop betting because it seems that the first 2 weeks I won about 70, 80 quid combined on all my bets. Since then, I've not won a penny.
I think Damien needs to stop as well. He's not winning anything.
It's no good. The only thing that I'm winning on at the minute are the free spins that William Hill are giving you. You get like 10 free spins, and I've won about £18 from them. Football-wise, there's just nothing coming in because
it's unpredictable at the minute.
This season is unpredictable. It really is. When you've got Brentford drawing with likes of Liverpool, and what's going on? It's absolutely mental.
Honestly, it is mental at the minute, the league. Like, if you said to Damien, like 2 months ago, like midsummer, the Euros, when it started to get announced that like Ben's moving to Arsenal, oh yeah, Brighton are going to be 6 weeks in, 6 weeks into the league.
I would have laughed at you.
You would have laughed in my face if I said to you, Brighton are going to be above like Arsenal and Tottenham and West Ham and all that. Like.
I mean, we'll be honest here, Sarah. What did I say to you in the summer? I said my club are going down this year. Yeah,
you genuinely thought you'd be in a relegation battle, and you're currently like 1 point away.
Well, that's the thing. If you look at the top 4, you've got the top 4, really, haven't you? You've got Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea, Man United.
You've got the big 4. Like, it's not the big 6. As Carragher said the other day, it's not the big 6 anymore.
It's not, but then you've got the likes of Arsenal, Spurs, Leicester that should be up there, that should be dotted around 5th, 6th, 7th, and they're starting at around about 10th in the table. Leicester
and like Leeds being 18th compared to Watford, who are 12th. Like,
Watford started the season really well. I mean, what's the guy called on the wing? Ismail Assar?
Yeah.
I only know one Watford player, to be fair, and that's Ben Foster.
Unbelievable start. Ben Foster, he's been playing well. I mean, I've started actually watching. I don't know if any of you guys have seen it. He's got his own, I don't know if it's a YouTube channel.
That's how come I know who he is. Like, I started watching that before the league started.
It's really good, actually. I've just started watching that on Facebook when he
I don't watch him anymore.
He complained about Brighton, so you don't watch him anymore.
He said we were going down.
But then you think, like we were saying about Leicester should be up there. But then this past weekend, when you've got Jamie Vardy, not only scored him for his own team, but scored him for the other team as well.
Yeah.
I think did he score like 2 or 3 goals this weekend? And one of them would have done that. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
And then, well, you've got likes of Palace that a couple of weeks ago we were thinking, Edouard is playing really well, Zaha, and then they're down in 15th. I think they've only got 6.
Out of the 4 goals that were scored in the Burnley-Leicester game, 3 of them came from Jamie Vardy.
Did he actually retire from international football?
He retired, yeah.
He did retire. Because I've been thinking, like, we are quite short, as we were saying previously, about the attacker situation with England. He always picks a lot of defenders, but he only ever takes 3 attackers. And when your attackers aren't doing anything, why not go out there and, as much as I hate him, give Ollie Watkins another chance? Or
I think he relies on Harry Kane too much.
Callum Wilson, I think he's played 1 game for England, got 1 cap, but he's playing really well at Newcastle, or he seems to be. But when you're surrounding yourself with players like Alan St-Maximin, you're bound to play well.
What I don't get is why doesn't Southgate at least ask the question of Vardy and say, would you come back?
Yeah.
Yeah. Give him that opportunity to say yes or no.
I know Southgate said he wants to build a younger squad, but it's not about what you want to do, it's what the nation needs.
It's what we need to win, Gaz.
I mean, in these last games, are they World Cup qualifiers that we're going through at the minute?
Yeah.
We have played really well. Look how I don't think we've lost a game, have we? Look how many goals we've actually scored as a team. But all the goals seem to be coming from the same people.
Yeah.
They're all coming from Raheem Sterling, Saka, Harry Kane's. What did he score? I think did he score 1 or score 2?
It would be nice if Sterling could do that for club as well as country.
And not give the ball away.
I like Sterling. I like Sterling.
I like him at a national level. Like, this sounds so bad. I appreciate him at a club level, but he's far better for England than he is for Man City.
See, for me, at Man City, you're playing with three up top. So at the minute, you've got Gabriel Jesus as your, only striker, really.
Yeah.
I couldn't name another striker that they've got in the club. But then you've got to pick from Riyad Mahrez on the right. Sterling can play left or right. You've got Grealish. that's seems to have been bumped up a little bit now, so he's always on that left wing instead of at the start of the season when he were playing in more of a cam central mid role.
I mean, we've got Torres. He's brilliant.
He's absolutely unbelievable.
But
so
you've got with Pep, you've got too many players to get onto like the pitch. You've got more players than you physically have room to play.
It's absolutely. I don't know. Pep seems a little bit stuck in his ways, like he was at Barca, like he was at Bayern Munich. He always wants to play the same people, and he's not giving the people that really can make a difference in the game. He's not giving them enough time on the pitch to make that difference. I'd start with Sterling on the left. I'd start with probably Riyad Mahrez on the right, and maybe play Grealish in more of a cam role with De Bruyne and Gundogan as your two central midfielders.
We seem to be the new Liverpool this year anyways, plagued with injuries.
Liverpool have started pretty well, actually. I mean, Salah's just been more Salah, isn't he? He always seems to get them goals that the team needs at the right time. I mean, we thought that Liverpool had won this past weekend, and then lo and behold, it finished 3-3.
Mental. I was listening to that. I was listening to that game, like, from the pub downstairs. They were watching it, and I was just sat here like, I wonder what's going on at Liverpool. It sounds entertaining.
My stream crashed, so I was talking to Sarah going, what happens? Because if Liverpool don't win, we could go top if we win last night, but obviously we didn't. But
what are the games like this weekend then?
I mean, at least, like, we need to fault Liverpool here for that third kit looking like Ronald McDonald. Like,
oh yeah, that's awful.
That looks bad. Is it just a trend this year to have shit third kits?
No, because our third kit's nice.
Leeds is new purple.
Oh, I love Leeds. I bought my dad that in Leeds actually for his birthday when we were there the other day.
But our second kit, the blue-black camouflage kind of thing.
Yeah, that's like...
It's just rinse and repeat. If you look at the likes of, who is it, like Leicester and other teams like that, they've got the exact same kit but a different colour.
Yeah.
Everyone's got one shit kit this year.
I mean, Dortmund's third kit creator apologised to Dortmund fans because of the outrage that was caused by their, like, highlighter yellow kit.
Don't Everton have the same kit design for one of their kits as Dortmund, where and Fenerbahce, and I think there's some teams like Marseille or somebody.
It's like our Man City kit where it just says like the little band that looks like pajamas. It's shit.
It's Puma, isn't it? Puma that have been made. I think, to be honest, there's been some shitty kits back in the early 90s that I can remember, but I think they're the worst football shirts that I've ever seen.
I mean, I still don't like Chelsea's home shirt just because of all the patterns on it. It upsets me. I do have to praise Arsenal. They have good shirts this year. They do have, like, Arsenal's kits are, like, nice kits this year.
They are. They're very clean looking.
There's none that I'd really complain about, because I went to the Sports Direct in Leeds and they've got, like, all the shirts all over the bottom floor, and I'm like, or the top floor, and I'm like, wow, that's a lot of shirts, and they actually look nice.
Talking about shit shirts, what about Manchester United and the guy that's wearing the shit shirt who takes the penalty and absolutely skies it? What was going on?
Oh, that made my day. That's why Ronaldo needs to take them.
You've got basically, in my eyes, the best footballer that the world has seen since...
You've got one of the best penalty takers in the world.
In the world. And then...
one of the best players ever.
Yeah, and Bruno Fernandes takes the ball off him. Paul Pogba then turns around to Cristiano Ronaldo and says, no, Bruno's taking it. You've got Emi Martinez, the goalkeeper for Villa,
saying to Ronaldo,
face, you need to take it. Let Cristiano take it. What's going on?
If Emi had conceded, he'd have probably come on the press conference and just blamed Arsenal, because that's what he always does. Emi Martinez. It's like, oh, my time at Villa's been poor, but I remember 15 years ago at Arsenal. It's just like, leave it alone, mate. You know, like, leave us alone. Like, you don't play for us anymore.
Reece, if you had the opportunity, who would you rather have in there? Obviously, you've got Ramsdale, you've got Bernd Leno. Well,
yeah.
Would you have kept Martinez? Because didn't he come from Arsenal?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. So are you asking?
Would you rather him stay and play at the level that he's playing at now?
Yeah.
Or would you have still let him go and got Ramsdale or another keeper in?
I'd rather have Ramsdale, to be honest.
Ramsdale. I'd rather have Ramsdale because when he first joined, I, like everybody, was laughing. I was a bit like,
You're about to get relegated with his little
why
curse.
are you spending like 30 million on Ramsdale? But since then, the guy's just, every time we score, he's just like celebrating passionately with the fans. I think he gave a fan a shirt at Burnley as well when he asked.
Oh, 100. He seems like one of the few nice guys in football.
Guy. His interview with David Seaman's brilliant. If you haven't watched it, I'd recommend you watch it.
That seems to be a new thing this season. I mean, the football players have always, in the past, given the odd shirt away to fans, but it seems like every team in every game, there always seems somebody's giving shirts to a disabled.
Grealish is doing it. Grealish is doing it every game. He's giving it to a kid every game. This week it was Grealish, Foden, and I think Bernardo and Ruben did it. I know we had like 4 players do it because my brain was very confused at the end of the game.
Yeah, but Ramsdale for me is like a genuine nice guy.
He is like one of the few genuine nice guys left in football.
There's quite a lot of games coming up this coming weekend that look a little bit tasty.
Brighton Arsenal, I can't wait for that one.
I do think Ramsdale will play against Brighton because the guy made the save of the season.
He's doing so. I'm not gonna lie. Leno, is it the German guy?
Leno, yeah.
The German manager turned up to watch him and he didn't even get on the pitch.
I know. So did Daniel Ek as well.
If
you're talking about goalkeepers that have been playing well, I know we lost. We shouldn't have lost.
Messley.
For the sake of Illan Meslier.
That's it.
Were unbelievable. We did not deserve that game.
He's not English, is he, Meslier? Am I thinking of?
No.
He's France's under-21s goalkeeper.
Yeah. He did well in the Fulham game. I know it ended up like 0-0, but he was doing so well in that game.
The thing is, we've got to rely on him because obviously Strauch got sent off against Liverpool. We've got Diego Llorente, who's injured. He seems to have legs like matchsticks that just snap all the time. So we've been left with bringing Luke Ayling into centre defence and then Liam Cooper. Now, Liam Cooper, for me, is not even Championship quality. Definitely not Premier League quality.
I mean, talking about keepers as well that aren't doing a good job, I've been saying this to Damien. Ederson. Like, is it because just no teams are kicking the ball down that end that he's not got a job to do, that he's just not playing as well as he has been? Like,
you've got to get the ball past the midfield and defence to even have a shot. And
I don't know if it's because
Leipzig, didn't he?
Yeah, like he made he did make mistakes in that Leipzig game, and I'm hoping it doesn't happen tonight in the PSG game.
It's like the first team that actually put pressure on him, he made mistakes.
I hadn't actually checked tonight's games.
Dortmund are playing Sporting and PSG are playing City. That's what I know. And I think Liverpool are playing Porto sometime this week.
Yeah, tonight.
I know the two I'll be keeping an eye on is my 2 games, my City game and my Dortmund game.
So there's a team that Real Madrid are playing, Sheriff Tiraspol. I think there may be a Turkish team. Or I think. I may be wrong. They might be Greek or something. But if I remember rightly, the last round of Champions League games, didn't they beat somebody quite big?
Yeah, they shocked somebody.
Yeah.
I cannot remember for the life of me. Well,
Champions League looks good tonight, but I hope Ederson, I feel bad saying this, but I don't know if it's because he's not getting that obviously in-game time to actually do his job because barely any teams are getting past the defence and everything, but he's not doing well. The Leicester game, Harvey Barnes kicks him in the face and he ends up bleeding everywhere.
Harvey Barnes.
And it's every game we've played lately, I've said to Damien, I'm like, he doesn't look like he used to. For me, he's not a Golden Glove this year at all.
He
Like,
doesn't look confident like he used to either.
no, I don't know if it is, like I say, because he's obviously, like, when we've not played, like, the bigger teams yet, so, like Leipzig, when they got past him.
It's a huge upgrade on what they've had in the past. Claudio Bravo being one.
I think he's got complacent. I don't know what Sarah thinks as a City fan or you guys as neutrals. He's got too complacent.
I feel like he has, because he's just, like the Arsenal game, he just didn't really have much to do in the second half.
No. As we said, you've got to be able to get the ball into a decent position past the other players to be able to have a shot. As you said, is it the fact that teams aren't just taking shots at him, so he seems to be stood around for 75% of the game.
To be fair, we were missing half our first team that day at Man City.
I'll tell you something though. I don't know if Arsenal have still got a couple of players out injured or.
No, they've got a full team back.
We've got a fully fit
We've got
team.
a full team back now. They're going to start kicking on.
I did say this. I said this to Damien. I was like, they're doing well. Now you've finally got the full team back. You are doing well. Hopefully not this weekend.
Thanks, Sarah. Now, if we play anything like we did in that first half an hour, then Brighton are in trouble. Well, any team would be in trouble.
It's going to be a good game, to be honest. If you'd have played like you did against Tottenham, when you played us, we might have struggled.
I think, trouble is we did for 4.5 minutes.
Yeah. If you'd have played for most of the game.
We tend to start games quite well.
I've noticed that lately when I've been watching
Chelsea
Arsenal.
Game started quite well. Brentford, we started quite well. City, I don't know why I always say City, because of you, Sarah. The Norwich and Burnley ones were always going to be nervy.
I mean, Ben White has a good game whenever I watch, apparently. Like,
Don't watch Saturday. Don't watch Saturday.
Like,
to be fair, though, he was so lucky with the penalty.
I need to stop watching Leeds games because I haven't missed a Leeds game in the last 15 years or so, but this season it just seems that every game that I watch, we don't win. So I think I'm gonna give this weekend's game a miss.
I do feel like you could struggle this weekend against Watford, and you wouldn't think it looking at Leeds v Watford.
Watford have started well though.
Is Bamford back yet for you guys? Yeah, you're playing Watford on Saturday afternoon because I'll probably be watching that if there's no Dortmund games on or anything.
Watford have in the last 3 games I think they've lost, drawn, and won. But they've won.
I can check now.
I think have we played 5 games? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games.
6 games. Yeah.
They've won twice. They beat Palace and they beat Norwich, which should be expected of any team, to be honest with you. But then when you look at the teams that we've played, we should have more than 2 points on the board.
I mean, fun fact, the last time you played them in the Premier League was 1999 and 2000.
And we probably lost then as well.
No, you won 2-1 and 3-1.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
Remember, you were near the top of the league back then. You were challenging.
We were Champions League team back then. Now we're lucky to be in Carabao Cup.
I'm looking forward to our game on Sunday. I can finally watch a Man City game on Sky Sports as well. I'm well hyped.
Who are you playing?
Liverpool. We're finally playing a big, I hate saying big team, but we're finally playing the big four. Edison's. Yeah, Edison's finally going to have his work cut out for him. The team isn't just going to be like we were against Wickham.
Talking about Liverpool, what about that goal that Curtis Jones scored?
Deflected.
It was deflected, but what a goal. What a strike.
I've not been watching Liverpool much this season. I've got enough to watch with Arsenal, City and Dortmund and Leeds. Oh, I watch Leeds games to update my dad because I stream them. So when you were playing West Ham the other day, I was just texting my dad all the game updates.
I was hoping to flag down Ben White at the Wimbledon game for you, Sarah, but nowhere to be seen.
I was going to say, he didn't play, I'm pretty sure, did he?
No, out the squad completely, which is a shame, because I would at least like to have taken a picture of him for you.
A picture of him? If you'd have got a picture with him, I'd have cried that you've met him before me. I tell you what, I'm glad that Cole Palmer played well. I don't know how many of you guys watched our Wickham game. I know I was sending Damien updates.
Is when you won 6-0?
Yeah, Cole Palmer one of our academy guys. I love him in the under 23 squad, and that he's so good, and he scored. And like you could see
I
how
like
happy the senior players were for him. Like Kev just smiled and went over to him straight away. And he's definitely like, I like that Pep's keeping. I don't know how many like the other Premier League teams do. I know Leeds need to start playing some youngsters more because my dad complains about it enough.
Right, indeed.
Like he brings up the youngsters to the first team squad to get like in those games, get a bit of first team experience because he wants them to be first team players next season or the season.
Talking about youngsters, Charlie Creswell has really stepped up.
Yeah.
I think, what is he? Is he 18, 19 years old? He played in the Fulham game.
Possibly.
And he played it last weekend for his full Premier League debut. And to be honest, I think he was the best.
He's 19 years and 42 days old.
Now I feel old.
No, I feel old.
No, I'm old.
No, I like that how many youngsters, like I'm not only 23, that we've got coming up. Like they're bringing all like, teams are bringing like the 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds who are Harvey Elliott.
Yeah. I've actually
we've
got
always had young players in our setup.
Got quite a close friend who lives in America called Cassie, and she's never been a big football fan, only like NFL, but she's recently started watching all Leeds games because of me. So she's started to feel all the emotion that it feels to be a Leeds fan.
I did get like momentarily confused. I don't know if I messaged the podcast chat or just Damien, and I was like, I thought Stuart was banned. Why is he playing for like the under 23s?
Yeah,
and I didn't realise he was under 23 as well. I thought he was a lot older than that.
Ironically, he scored against Liverpool.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He did. He's a decent defender. I think he's one of our best. As I say, miles better than Liam Cooper.
Well, 100%.
Damien's better than Liam Cooper.
Yeah, exactly.
Our under 23s are demolishing everyone.
Your women are doing well.
Like, I know. Finally, Arsenal 5, Man City 0. So we've rounded it out on aggregate.
I sound really bad, but like I'm in the Champions League. I am 100% backing Arsenal and Chelsea's women. But like, you played well. We were just shocking. I was watching bits of the game. Arsenal's women was so good the other night.
It's some kind of revenge.
I mean, one of our girls punched another one in the face accidentally.
God.
So, great hope. But no, this weekend's games, there's a few that look like they could be good. We've got Palace v Leicester on Sunday.
Come on, Leicester.
Come on, Palace.
I don't care who
top
wins.
6, you're not relevant.
Oh no! Don't start with your. Yeah, speaking of irrelevant, you are irrelevant. The whole derby was irrelevant. Mopé's irrelevant. That's not a derby.
Oh my god! Right, they're derby. So there's a few things. So before I get onto the derby, we need to talk about a few crazy moments from this week.
Yep.
A guy doing his crossword puzzle at the derby last night.
The guy that were eating Victoria sponge cake at Fulham.
Yeah.
There's been some things happening recently.
People confuse me.
Yeah, people confuse me too, to be honest.
Speaking of eating and drinking stuff, I think they're going to loosen the ban, but because obviously, like, you've not been allowed. Yeah, you've not been allowed to drink beer at a football stadium for like 40 odd years.
Not in the stand.
Yeah. Do you know what's great about that? You can at Soccer Aid. You can at like non like club matches, because I saw the signs, so I downed a pint in like 2 minutes at Soccer Aid before we went out into the seats.
Yeah.
And then everyone else was bringing the booze out, and I'm like,
I don't think I'd quite want a pint of Stella in a chocolate cup though.
a little waffle cup. Drink your dark keys, and then you can eat your waffle cup afterwards.
I'm coming back just to get one of those, I told you.
It's mental.
I don't know who came up with that idea. Chocolate. Like, what are they made of?
Waffles.
Wafer.
You know, like the ice cream wafer cones, like them. I'm still trying to figure out how they even like don't go soggy and like the coffee stays in the cup.
They must be full of so much crap.
Yeah.
Just rigid.
I hope Everton beat United this week. I hope every team beat United every week, though. So
I am quite enjoying watching Manchester United play.
I tell you what, the West Ham game was a good game. I was actually watching that on my telly, and I was streaming. Who were you playing that week, Damien? Leicester.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you played Leicester because I had that on my iPad. I was watching that and watching the West Ham game.
Because you were texting me updates, weren't you? Because I was outside the ground and.
Yeah, I text you updates for games. It's great. But no, that was a good game. Like, I think West Ham are great this year.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm not just saying that to appease half my dad's family.
No,
they are actually doing well.
They're kicking on from where they finished last season and how they played towards the back end of last year. This season, they're really setting the pace for the other teams around them. Mikhail Antonio has been a great player for them. Obviously, he scored that winning goal against Leeds this past weekend, but he's played for England, or he's played for England's under 23s or whatever in the past, and for the second team. But now has he changed his nationality?
Yeah, he's changed to Jamaica, but he's played for England in a friendly.
Everyone seems to be changing the nationality at the minute because Gaz just isn't picking anyone.
Well, who is it for Villa that's just changed his nationality from English to Polish? Is it like Matty Cash or something like that?
Yeah, Matty Cash.
What's all that about?
I want to know how you can suddenly change nationality. I'm not going to lie.
To be fair, you've got
in a competitive game. You can.
It doesn't matter, but Matty Cash has got more chance of not winning a trophy with Poland than he has of not winning a trophy with England. So it don't matter who you pick, you're not going to win anything with anybody.
Yeah, but for him, it's not about a trophy, is it? It's about the prestige of playing for an international.
Yeah.
Yeah, like our next big midfielder, Charlie Pitino, who scored a wonderful goal against Man United's under 23s, which was brilliant. He wants to switch allegiances, I've heard, from England to Spain.
It's same with what Bamford did. Bamford's played for England under 23s and stuff when he was younger, but
it's like Grealish, isn't it?
Grealish as well.
Everyone's saying Jack Grealish is loyal. No, he isn't.
Declan Rice did it too.
No, he's not. He's a fully capped Ireland international, Jack Grealish, if you go back through the records.
Yeah.
So is Bamford. Mick McCarthy were trying to get him back to the Ireland squad before he decided that he wanted to play for England, and it took long enough for Southgate or anybody to call him up for England. He'd have probably had a better chance playing for Ireland because he'd have been their star striker. I don't know. It's quite funny just how people can just decide to change the nationality.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, technically, I could play for Germany. If I were a player, I could play for Germany. But I wouldn't want to.
Oh, it's all right. I couldn't say, like, fluffy haired guy's name last night, so I was like, not Ben White.
I'm like, Marco Correa.
Not Ben White.
He's our star boy now.
And he's number 3. He's not Ben White.
No, he's better than Ben White.
Neil Maupay's.
No.
He's a better technical player than Ben White.
They're in completely different positions.
No, technically, I didn't say position. Technically, with his feet, he's better.
Maybe, yeah.
Ilan Mellier's better though, and he's a goalkeeper.
True.
He's got decent feet. That seems to be a new thing as well. If you go back to the 90s, early 2000s goalkeepers, none of them were that gifted with their feet, and now you're looking at, like, you got Ederson, you got Alisson, Meslier, Ramsdale. They're all quite good on the ball.
Yeah, a lot of players are getting more technical. And actually, can I just go back to that with Reece for a second? You say completely different position, Reece. Well, last night, due to injuries, he actually shuffled across and played on the left of a free, where Ben White played for us. So technically, it's not a completely different position.
I got my left and my right confused in my brain momentarily then.
That seems to be a thing though, doesn't it, in recent matches, where whether it's because of injury or just trying to shuffle the pack a bit, you've got midfielders playing in defence, you've got left backs playing at left mid.
Or if you Pep Guardiola, you've got anybody playing anywhere.
Or Jose Mourinho, he always likes to change a position, doesn't he?
It's either that
I
or...
said to Sarah that it was weird because we had a centre mid playing on the wing, but then we had like a wing back in Cucurella playing on the left of the back three, and I was like,
It was nice to see Aaron Connolly come on, even not for long. I can't remember what point he came on at. It was nice to see him come on after his injury for I was about to say Arsenal. Ireland. I think the codeine's just hit me. To be fair, your tickets are cheaper than City tickets.
Yeah, Wimbledon was only like a tenner.
Yeah,
And
we
that
can
was
go
like-
to like the Women's FA Cup for £7.
That's not bad.
I have uni classes that finish at 6:30, so I can't go because it kicks off at 7. I was well gutted because I was like, for £7 I'd go. Like,
How far away from the ground are you?
like 20 minutes on the tram. So
Oh, right.
I'd only, and then getting in, I'm like, I just don't have the energy after like 3 hours in class.
No, definitely not.
it's like when we said we go to the next international, though, isn't it?
Yeah, we
And
were
then
going to
we
go
thought
to
it
the
was
next
Hungary, yeah.
international, and then I was like, it's Hungary, and I'm like,
Nah.
I still think
I
we should
don't want to be subject myself to Hungary
We
fans.
could arrange a penalty time. Sorry. We could arrange a Ben White show. Where we do it where we all go to an England game together and do it like outside Wembley, because I know
Yes,
like,
and
a
just
lot of
walk
the-
up to random
Yeah.
fans and be like, what do you think of Ben White?
Please do that, yes.
that would be quite cool.
But yeah, pure Southampton this week. They've got Chelsea. But
Oof.
I'm about to make a controversial statement about Chelsea.
Mhm.
I
No.
don't think they played that well without Pulisic and Mount, to be honest with you.
They played terribly.
You could tell where they were struggling in that City game without Pulisic and Mount.
They did score though, didn't they? Albeit from an offside position, and what it
Yeah.
Lukaku put the ball in the net. I think they were hard done by, to be honest with you. But as you say, they don't play well without certain players in the team.
Like, they had that gap missing. Like, I support Mount and Pulisic. They're two of my favourite players, I'm not going to lie, from London.
So expensive to buy shirts now.
I almost bought a Leeds Pride flag, I'm not going to lie. I was like, I like it, but it does have the Leeds badge on it. And my dad was like, buy it. And I'm like,
I liked the Brighton one, didn't I?
There was a
Okay.
joke I read
Yeah.
somewhere. Someone made a joke where they said, "Oh, Tottenham has done a pride flag," and then somebody said, "Well, you'd never wear it because there's no pride in supporting Tottenham."
did you see what someone did at the fight the other night? They put a North London is red sticker like
Saw
on one
that.
of the glass
Loved
boxes.
it. Loved
So
it.
funny.
Do any
They
of you
are-
follow Paddy
You are
Power
the
on
better
Twitter?
team. No.
Oh yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah, they are. They're quite funny with some of the stuff. And yes, thank you, Sarah. Arsenal are the better team than Tottenham because
Like right now that you have all your players back and Harry
Now that
Kane
you
is
have
in
Ben
like
White,
and Harry Kane is having a midlife crisis, you are the better team than Tottenham right now.
To be fair, he should have had a penalty Sunday. I'm not going to lie. That looked like a stonewall penalty kick. I mean, he tried in the second half. I mean, he played a lot better in the second half than he did have a chance towards the end where he dinked it over Ramsdale and put it wide, but that's just
Once again, this
how it
past
goes.
weekend, there were a lot of questionable decisions.
And
from
VAR especially.
VAR.
Me and Damien was saying this just before we started filming actually, like there's a lot of questionable VAR decisions at the minute.
I mean, just looking at it, for example, I mean, when we played Leicester, was it the week before this one?
Yeah.
dude
There
disallowed
was no
goals.
way that we should have had a penalty at all. I don't know how VAR gave that. And that's me as a fan. That was not a penalty.
And then there were the disallowed goals.
Those I'm quite happy about.
And then
They
that
are
weekend
tight.
as well, I was certain that's the weekend of like Kyle Walker's red card, not red card, sending off that I was on a train in the middle of, and I'm just getting notifications, and I'm like, what is going on?
My stream was delayed, but I was texting you going, is it not?
Trossard's been playing well. I'll give you that.
Yeah. Was it?
Leandro, yeah.
There was a game, I don't know which game it was, it's some game this weekend where a ref made a decision based on seeing the VAR replay.
On the big screen.
Yeah, whichever game that was, I've watched that many.
I think it was the Leeds game.
Yes, it might have been. It was one of the ones I watched on my iPad.
It was a Leeds game.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Where he was like, he went and watched it on the little screen and he was like, nah, VAR's right. And then he awarded a yellow card based on the
Yeah. That's right, yeah. I think that were fan interaction as well.
Yeah.
They were getting stick from the fans, so when he looked up, he saw it and he gave the yellow card for that. It was definitely the Leeds game, yeah.
Yeah, that was the Leeds game. I've watched that many football games this weekend. I literally sent a message to my flat group chat and I'm like, look, Saturdays I watch football. I watched 4 games, I think, this Saturday. My brain was just like, I don't know what I've watched.
They all seem to merge into one when you watch so many games, don't they?
I know it's not Premier League, but Dortmund was suffering without Marco Reus and Haaland. They had to send off and they didn't score at all. They've really suffered without Haaland and Marco.
Haaland's a different breed though, isn't he?
Yeah, they've really suffered with that. Like, I wouldn't say I'm a Dortmund fan, but I do, like, follow them. Like, if I had to choose a team, they'd be my German team.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And, like, because I watch all the games, and, like, they struggled this week, considering they were only playing Borussia Mönchengladbach, who are, like, bottom of the Bundesliga. They struggled a lot more than they should have, considering they were only missing, like, 2 players.
I mean, they've still got a good team without.
Mm.
But Haaland, he brings so much. You put him in any team, and he brings so much to the table. Has he scored 65 goals in 65 games?
And he has, like, it's not even just him being a player. He seems to be, like, a moral support. You will catch him being, like, cheering on from the sidelines.
I think it helped with his dad being a former player and being his agent, or one of his agents or whatever, his manager. I think it's been having somebody that's been there, lived through it, the good.
Giving him a football education, sort of thing.
And him growing up, like, on the football scene. That would help. Like, David Beckham's kid, was it Romeo?
One of them, yeah, is playing, yeah.
I think it's Romeo. He's just done with Fort Lauderdale, and it's the sister club to his dad's club in Miami.
That's right,
they play in the third division of American football.
Yeah,
I was going to say, it is Romeo. I don't think it'd be Juliet. But yeah, Romeo was, who's now being coached by Phil Neville.
And I think, like, you can tell his dad's put, like, a lot of, like...
It's the same
like,
with
humbleness in them. Yeah.
Ronaldo's son's playing for Man United now with, is it Kai Rooney or one of the Rooney kids?
Yeah. One of them. I don't care about the Rooneys, but yeah, it's one of them.
There's that. I don't like Wayne Rooney.
You care about the Rooneys too much for being a Brighton fan, Damien.
No, but Rooney was a childish hero.
To be fair, I can't say much because I do, like, hype half the players in London, like Kai Havertz and
Rooney is still a legend. Rooney's still a legend for what he's done.
Yeah.
I think he's
I don't like him, but yeah.
I think it's just more the off-field antics that set him in a different light to some of the other players.
Tell you what, Scholes is good.
Yeah.
Scholes is still playing well from when we were at Soccer Ed.
Scholes could still play at a decent sort of non-league, lower league level.
I follow Paul Scholes on Facebook, and some of the crap that he comes out with is unbelievable.
Scholes or Gerrard? Scholes or Gerrard?
For me, Gerrard.
Yeah. Tough decision, but I go Gerrard.
Yeah. If you're going on major honours, it's obviously Scholes. But
if
you're
going on history.
Both players have a great.
We got a whole lot of history.
You and me, guys.
Got it. That's what I just had in my. But no, Burnley Norwich. I reckon that could be
tasty
this weekend.
Burnley are going to edge that for me, I think. Just.
By the way,
I've honestly got it pegged to the draw.
I'm just going to jump in here. This whole history business with you lot, right? Calm it down.
You talk more about it than when I was studying it for a GCSE.
Have you ever won an Intercity's first cup, though? We have.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, yes, thank you.
I know you have.
Yeah. Did you win the Winners' Cup?
We did.
And when's the last time you had any, like, silverware, anyone?
Last year. FA Cup last year.
2 years ago when we got promoted.
Yeah, FA Cup last year.
We got promoted as runners-up. We got a trophy for that. We also
you
won
could be Tottenham.
1934.
It could be worse. You could be Tottenham.
See, you can't go on at me about history when you're bringing up stuff from 1934. I mean, that's just
the difference is I don't pretend my club are a big club.
Like, yeah,
I'm
pre-World
not-
War
oh,
Two.
Damien.
We won't pretend my club's a big club, Sarah.
Yeah, but we are a big
No.
club. We always will be. Gary,
Nah,
Gary
it's Big Four now. It's
Gary
100%
Neville,
Big Four.
Gary Neville, right? Gary Neville even said that he
Jamie
would never...
Carragher said it's the Big Four and not the Big Six.
Yeah, but Jamie Carragher, who cares? But Gary Neville won more trophies. Right, Gary Neville said you never not put Arsenal in the top 3 big clubs in England.
Based
Never.
on history, yeah.
Thank you. End of argument. Good night.
But
goodbye.
we're not talking about history. Like, currently, they're not the Big
I know,
Three
because you
clubs.
have no history, Sarah. You were brought by fuel. Your owners could help
Yeah,
us
but
with
if-
this fuel shortage.
If Spotify had bought you, you'd be all right.
Spotify will buy us. Spotify paid. You're a musician as well, right? Are you a musician?
Management.
Management, right? So you would know all about that. When the Spotify thing first come out, I was loving it, obviously. And to see him at the game on Sunday was like a bit of a shock, to be honest.
Yeah,
I
it's
wasn't
nice to
expecting
know that the money that's supposed to go to bands is going to buy a football club instead.
That's what I mean. Yeah, that's you can't be paid 0.0002p when the owner of that brand is planning on buying a football club for 2 billion.
Literally.
But anyway, yeah, we have the most history. Can we stop with the history now, please? Because
No.
ever since Damien's found out I'm an Arsenal fan, like he's just had it in for me. Like he's just,
Well, you took Ben White away. What do you expect?
You took Ben White.
And Arsenal wouldn't have even bothered buying him if it weren't for Leeds making him into the player he
Yeah.
is today.
Oh, piss off. It's all about Graham Potter.
Graham's one of the
Damien.
managers of the month for me, I'm not going to lie.
Yes.
Like, if we're talking about, like, players and managers of the Premier League, manager of the month, one of the contenders for me is Graham Potter. You are unbeaten at home.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
He's definitely between Potter, Moyes.
I wouldn't really say any of the big managers are up there, to be honest. 100%
Say Potter,
no.
Moyes, or Frank.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Potter is, like, the manager of the month
what
for
Frank
me.
Lampard?
No, Thomas Frank.
I know, Damien. I know. I got you back there. Yeah, I got you back.
Who would you go, what do you think would be the player of the month?
For me,
Mel Payne's in
Jesus
there
is
with a
up there.
shout.
Jesus.
Not even, like, he's just doing well.
I would go for player of the month. That's interesting. Really good.
No more pay. Oh, wait. No, you're an Arsenal fan.
It's going to end up being somebody like, I don't know, Ronaldo or something stupid.
It's
Just
going to have to be Ronaldo. They're going to
It'll
put
be
it as
Ronaldo.
Ronaldo just because it's his first month
It
back.
will be Ronaldo. Don't start.
We're
on those pace.
discounting Ronaldo, right, for a second. Because he is, like, the best footballer in the world. No one else can argue with him.
No, he's not. He's not.
Like-
He is.
He's
I'd
not.
actually say Saka. I'd put Saka in contention.
Oh, Saka's done really well this month.
He's played really well for such a young guy, and obviously with that coming off the back of a disappointing penalty and everything.
Honestly,
he's
Saka
come back
and Smith
proper.
Rowe are two of, like, the
Oh,
shining
he's in with a
players.
shout, without a doubt.
Like, your 3 players of the month for me are Ramsdale, Saka, and Smith Rowe.
And Tommy
Obama-
New Boy, as you call him. Bam Bam. Yeah, Bam Bam's playing a lot better.
Aubameyang's playing a lot better, and that, like as we've said, now that Arsenal have got a full team, I think there's going to be a lot more goal scoring opportunities.
I
for them.
think you are going to be, like, the top 6 quality. Now you've got, like, your full team back.
Lacazette's not really up there in contention with
He's not,
anybody.
I don't call him Lacazette anymore. He's lack of threat
Lacazette.
because he doesn't. I mean, to be fair, he did score against Wimbledon, but you know,
I could score against.
yeah. But there was a bit of banter
Damien
going.
could score against Wimbledon.
There was a
This is
nice
true.
nice bit of banter between Arsenal and the Dons and everything. You know, saying, "Oh, you've come from Milton Keynes. You've come from Milton."
Pretty sure Ben Chilwell
All that
comes
lot.
from, like, Milton Keynes way as well.
He does, doesn't he?
I think so. I don't know much about the man apart from he's learning piano at the minute because he's not being picked.
To be fair, the best footballer that's ever played piano was Alexis Sanchez for 10 seconds on his Man United arrival video, and that was the best thing. That was the best thing he'd ever done for him.
Yes, he is. Ben Chilwell is from Milton Keynes.
If you watch, I know that Sarah said that she watches Ben Foster's videos. He put a video on this past weekend where he was showing his top 5 match-worn shirts in his collection, and
Oh,
his
yeah, I haven't watched that one yet.
I haven't
Well,
yet
well,
either.
favourite ones they said he showed was Alexis Sanchez Arsenal shirt. It was the season when he was just tearing it up for Arsenal, and he even said in that video that back then when Sanchez were playing for Arsenal, he was a totally different breed of football player.
I would have rather of him gone to City rather than United.
Speaking of Arsenal and Ben Chilwell, apparently you're interested in him. You're named as interested in Ben Chilwell.
Interested, considering he only signed for Chelsea last year?
Yeah, I don't believe half of the news stories I see, but because he's unsettled and not getting picked and stuff, apparently.
Talking about transfer interest, though, it's come out this morning that Manchester United are interested in Calvin Phillips.
Ooh.
I sent Damien that, or I did screenshot it to send him, and I was like, nah, he wouldn't do it, surely.
Nah.
Being a homegrown Leeds boy, the disrespect, man wouldn't be allowed back in Leeds.
Yeah, but it's happened before, Alan Smith.
Yeah, I mean, I'd.
Thing is, though, a lot of people on the Alan Smith situation called him a Judas. They called him everything under the sun. Said that he's never welcome back in Leeds again. What people don't realise is a lot of people don't realise that he waived his transfer fees, his bonus and everything, and gave it back to the club because we were in such financial difficulty.
That's what I mean.
And once I found that out, I had a bit more respect for him.
I feel like he had to leave.
Yeah, he had no choice.
Exactly, like Aaron's just said, people judge the players without knowing the full story. I mean, recently, Glenn Murray's done an interview in The Athletic and said that if Brighton had offered him a new deal when he left and went to Palace, he would not have gone.
Yeah.
It was because the manager at the time didn't offer him a deal.
I watched Alan Smith's first game for Man United. I was the Community Shield. It was the following year.
Mm-hmm.
And we beat United 3-1, ran them ragged that day. But I'll always remember Alan Smith's goal, a debut goal for him. And I remember thinking, God, they got this dude for free, I think it was. And then I remember he scored a ridiculous goal against Norwich on the first game of the season where he kind of chested it down and hit it with his left foot and it went in off both posts.
That was a sweet strike.
I think once he broke his leg,
mad.
Went downhill, didn't it?
I can't see Calvin going to United, to be honest.
It'll have to be a huge. I mean,
even if you got relegated, I can't see him going to United. I can see him going to another Premier League team.
Yeah,
couldn't see him going to United. I could see him going to City or somewhere, but I could not see him going to United. I feel like he's got too much respect for that as a person.
I think money talks in football, doesn't it? If the offer's right, you'd go anywhere, wouldn't you? Even if you hate a club with a passion and you say no. If the money's right, you're going to turn around and say, well, do you know what? I'll go. But like you say, he's got far too much respect for Leeds being a homegrown talent. I don't think he'd go.
Yeah, it has happened, but I don't think Calvin's the type of guy to do it, to be honest with you.
Dan James has just come from Manchester United to Leeds, hasn't he? Whereas
I'm surprised you weren't lying in the streets going, no, we don't want him because he's from United.
It does happen.
Eric Cantona went from Leeds to Man U for $1 million.
But to be fair, that turned out really well in the end.
Oh yeah,
for everyone involved.
He went from being a brilliant player at Leeds to becoming a world-class player at Manchester United.
You can't call Cantona a Judas for what he did. The man was just unplayable on his day. Brilliant.
I've been saying it to Damien for months now, since it's being come out that it's he's going to be moving if Leeds get relegated or whatever. I can't see him going to United at all. I cannot.
A couple of weeks ago when we were filming, it came out that he was only worth 26 million, didn't it?
Yeah.
He's got to be.
Funny.
I wouldn't turn on my back. I wouldn't turn my back on my hometown club for 26 million.
Damien,
no way. The amount of respect, literally. Say Phil Foden only got offered 26 million to move from City to United. Nah.
No.
I don't think Calvin has that little respect for the community.
Exactly.
Not even just the team, the community, the fans, Leeds as a whole, and everyone.
He's done it in Leeds, and he does a lot for a lot on social media and stuff within the city of Leeds. So I don't think that he'd go. Like you say, I could see him. if we do get relegated, going to another club, maybe
you won't get Leeds. Leeds are my second team, so you can't. I highly doubt you'll be relegated. I'd be devastated if Leeds got relegated.
So soon after coming back up as well.
They are where they deserve.
I mean, the way you're playing at the minute, it is a possibility. Like, me and my dad have spoke about this. My dad's even said, like, at the minute you're going down.
We're not playing bad football. We're just, as defences, are shambles.
It's more your tactics. Like, they know how to play, just the play through isn't coming.
When you 1-0 up and you want to close the game out, or when he's drawing 1-1 or whatever, and he's bringing Tyler Roberts on and thinking that Tyler Roberts is the man to come on and win that game for us or close that game out, there's something seriously wrong, because Tyler Roberts is not up to the standard of everybody else in that team.
Exactly.
You're taking a proven goal scorer in Rodrigo off to put Tyler Roberts on. But then you've got, like, the under-23s team, you've got Crescencio Somerville, you've got Joe Gellart, who are scoring 3 and 4 goals between them week in, week out. And he's only bringing them on, or not even bringing them on at all.
I think it was Somerville that played in the cup that really impressed me. I'm not sure.
Yeah. He also on this past weekend.
Was he the one that I said to you really impressed me, Sarah?
Yeah, I think it was him.
Even though I wanted Fulham to win.
Our young team, the under-23s and under-21s and whatnot, we've got some fantastic players in there. Obviously, Charlie Creswell making his Premier League debut.
Good.
We've got a lot of good players, and we seem to be lacking. We're behind with the transfers like that every other team in the Premier League's been making. They've been making significant signings to strengthen the starting 11, to that starting team, whereas what Bielsa's been doing in Leeds, we've been signing players to strengthen as under-23s and as youth team, looking to the future.
To be honest, that's a similar approach to what Potter's been doing.
Yeah.
And if you survive
100%. Potter is a brilliant manager at the minute.
He's definitely up there in contention for Manager of the Month.
Yeah.
I'd have to give it to Thomas Frank now, I've got to be honest.
After this last weekend when they drew what it was Liverpool.
Yeah.
I think he's definitely up there. It's a decision.
Damien, when was the first you heard of Graham Potter? Like when was the first you sort of heard of his credentials?
I sort of knew a little bit about his career as a player because I followed the history of football anyway.
Yeah.
And then as a manager, I sort of knew about him at Östersund a little bit because I'd seen various European games with them in. And then when he moved to Swansea, I started taking a bit more notice because I like Championship because we were in it as well. Thinking, we're playing nice football, he's good to watch, that sort of thing. And then when it said Chris Hughton has been sacked by Brighton, I said, I want Graham Potter.
Yeah.
I called that. People were saying, why do you want him? I was like, because he builds for the future, not just now.
I was the same as you. I mean, I'd never heard of Östersund before we played them in the Europa League, even after the first leg. But then I think we all know what happened in the second leg.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Östersund came to Arsenal, were like 2-0 up after 8 minutes. And we were in severe trouble of going out. And Potter beat Wenger. And it's sort of like, to be fair, Potter beat a declining Wenger, but that's what I do to have Wenger back now. But the fact that he was able to go there and turn over one of English football's greatest managers, I think, was the thing that put him on the map. Because he didn't have the best team with Östersund, but he did well to get them into the Europa League, full stop.
Exactly, and it was the promotions he got with them before. I don't know if you've read back on that. Literally, they were in the 3rd division when he took them over.
That sounds a bit like Hoffenheim as well.
I feel like he's growing with Brighton, though. Like, the team are growing with Potter. Like,
they are.
They're blended. Wow, this sounds really sloppy and emotional. But, like, they're blended now. Like, he's growing with the team. They're growing with him. They're kind of settling into, like, how they work.
Mind you, what was it I said to you the other day when I was all happy? He's given us a Brighton DNA.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Very sloppy, didn't I?
Yeah, we do get soppy over football half the time, not going to lie.
When you've got a manager that's been at a club for quite a while, that's bringing in the players that he wants to bring in, playing the football that he wants that club to play football, similar to Wenger with Arsenal when he came, and then he grew as a manager with that team, and the team grew with him. Same as Ferguson at Manchester United, and for me, Rafa Benitez when he was at Liverpool.
Yeah,
it's that same thing. I mean, Bielsa's doing it at Leeds. Mikel Arteta has had the opportunity to do it at Arsenal, but I think now, as we were saying, now that they've got a full squad back, I think they're gonna kick on now.
I think it is starting now. I think now that like they've had their little COVID wave,
yeah,
Arsenal and Arteta are gonna like blend and grow together, and
he did say that they've always said since a couple of months back, he said, we're just waiting for everything to just go boom.
Arteta is one of my favourite managers, and that is partly because he's worked under Pep.
He's the best looking manager in the league.
I'm not gonna lie.
That's why they done a fan poll on it, and they said, well, why shouldn't Arteta be sacked? And I think 10% of it was because of the results, but then 90% of it was, well, he's good looking. We need to have a good looking manager in the league because there aren't many of them.
This sounds really cheesy. From what I've seen, like behind the scenes photos at the photo call day, like behind the scenes at training and stuff like that, Arsenal seems like a family, like what City have.
I love how you weren't saying this after the 5-0 at City.
No, because the pictures have only come out like 2 days ago. Damien knows exactly which picture I'm on about here. Saka and Ben.
Yeah,
the photo of them two. They just look so like the whole team, like in training and when they're just anywhere together, like they look so happy together and they look like a family. That sounds really cringy.
It's the same with
what you want. That's what you need as a team.
Like City's players, they are a family now, and I feel like
from
Arteta, from Arteta now, he is using those little pep notions that he has, and he is building a family at Arsenal now.
I still think if he doesn't win a trophy this season or next season, he has to go.
Oh yeah, 100%.
There's only so long you can go without. I mean, Wenger went 9 years, but Wenger had a pass by everybody because Matt, in his first full season, the man won the double. The man won the double. So, yeah, but he had a... Stop it!
Yeah, but you can't blame Arteta for the shit start of the season for all the players going out clubbing and getting COVID.
I think the Brentford game, I think we were always going to lose that because they were a newly promoted team.
Yeah.
Chelsea were riding on the Lukaku wave. So I'm going on about history here, Damien. I know
you were out of half your players. So
the City game was one of those where I think that if we'd have buried a chance in the first 4 or 5 minutes and we started fast, it could have been a different game. But I think that Tottenham game was just frustration, easing the frustration out because our first.
The Tottenham game is how you should have been playing, considering you were a top 6 club. You should have been playing like that the entire season. Like,
Damien,
Arsenal
don't
team,
start. I saw that face. Yeah,
that Arsenal team is the team that should have been beating Brentford.
What? No, I forgot. Who's 6th?
Brighton.
Thank you.
Whatever. Right, carry on.
That Tottenham game showed the team that Arsenal should have been all season. The team that should have been playing Chelsea. The team that should have, thrashed Brentford.
Yeah. Tottenham are on a rapid decline though this season.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening at that club. I mean, like we said before about the Harry Kane incident, he just his head doesn't seem to be in it, and his heart doesn't seem to be in playing for him.
I think because he got refused to leave. Yeah, I think it's the whole wasn't being allowed to leave.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
But he's not being allowed to leave, and now he's unsettled in the club. He's basically being forced to stay somewhere he doesn't want to be.
I do feel sorry for him.
Same.
Yeah.
I don't. Why would you?
You'd take him at Arsenal, though, in a breath.
No, nobody would.
Yeah.
Everybody who I asked on Wednesday last week would not take him.
He's better than Aubameyang. He's better than Lacazette.
Are you joking?
He's better than Lacazette.
If we're going off history here, I'm going to do a you. We are going to whack the history out right now.
Okay.
Going off history, Arsenal would be begging on the knees for Harry fucking Kane at this point. if he was playing how he used to.
Harry
But at the minute, I wouldn't even have Harry in the England squad.
Harry Kane is an Arsenal boy. I'm not having all this Tottenham rubbish. He was at the Invincibles parade, mate. He's an Arsenal boy. Like, you know.
Yeah, no one's disputing that.
If Harry Kane had stopped at Norwich, he'd have won 3 or 4 trophies by now.
Yeah. But, like, yeah.
I'm not being funny right now. I wouldn't even want Harry Kane in the England squad because he is just unsettled.
Right now, I wouldn't want Harry Kane at Brighton.
I only wouldn't want Harry Kane at Arsenal because he plays for Tottenham. That's
now, Harry Kane doesn't want to be Harry Kane at Tottenham.
Yeah. He wanted to be Harry Kane at Man City.
I'm glad we don't have him, not gonna lie.
However,
I can't see Manchester City going back in for him either.
I think this year we are going to try for Haaland. Hopefully,
I think he's going to end like Man City are going to end up bringing in somebody like the likes of Lewandowski or Haaland, and then Kane's either going to end up staying at Tottenham and being unhappy, or he's going to end up going abroad.
I think that's what Kane knew. I 100% think Kane knew that this summer was his chance to get into City as a striker, and that was it.
The only thing I'm scared about playing Arsenal in the Cup, obviously we're coming to your ground, it's going to be quite a hostile environment.
Yes.
And
if the fans turn up.
Well,
stop there.
If we have defensive problems,
I'm going to
run ragged.
Yeah, but your fans, like, compared, I don't know if either of you two watched the Fulham game, compared to the sheer number of home fans, you lot were louder. You lot were the much better fans. Yeah, the Leeds fans were incredible that day.
To be fair, Sarah, Man City, this is what I find laughable. Man City sold 36,000 tickets for the game against Leipzig.
Yeah.
We had 58,000 for a game against Wimbledon.
Yeah, do you know why? Because they're cheaper. Like, simple than that.
I have a lot less ticket restrictions.
I have 100%. I've said this to Damien every time tickets go on sale. You have less ticket restrictions than us. If we want to buy a ticket to most games, if I want to go and see Leeds, I have to be a Citizen Matchday member, have been to 3 previous games at the Etihad. Whereas if I wanted to go and see PSG, I could pay 35 quid to sign up and go get a ticket for PSG. Yeah. I could have gone to the Leipzig game without signing up to be a member. It's stupid, the ticket regulations at the minute to get to Premier League games.
They need to cap.
Pep's complaining that we've got no crowd, because we can't fucking afford it, love.
It's the same with Leeds. You've got to be a gold member, and then even if you pay for your gold membership, you get put in a queue, so you're not guaranteed to get a ticket. That's why people are on Twitter and on Facebook week in, week out. Has anybody got any
tickets? Yeah.
Have you got a process whereby we've obviously got the season ticket holders, which naturally get theirs. But then you've got platinum, gold, and red.
That's the Citizen Matchday member thing. Yeah.
Right. Does it get past? Because I'm still at red level. Because you have to be like a fan for so many years to get moved on.
At City,
to the next
doesn't.
level.
You just pay for the higher member level.
Oh, interesting. Ours goes on a waiting list of years, but you can go on the season ticket waiting list. But if you're on a season ticket waiting list, you'll be waiting years for a ticket. But like, if say, for example, the Leeds game doesn't get, I only went to the Dons game because it went to general sale. So it sort of goes down different levels.
Yeah.
And then it after my level, which is red,
it's like the PSG
then it goes
game.
to general sale.
It's like the PSG game, our home game against PSG. I bet that won't be available for general sale. That'll go to all the members and season ticket holders.
I only just noticed that Reece has changed his last name on here.
Yeah.
It just popped up, Reece Ramsdale.
Did you not notice that at all? I told Damien that before we'd even started.
I just saw it there in corner.
Just saying about the memberships and that, I don't know how many of you are familiar, but I know Sarah is because I've told them before about this. But Brighton have actually got a loyalty points scheme, which means you get a set amount of points for being a season ticket holder, plus a rollover for every year you've been a season ticket holder.
We changed to that this season,
And then extra points per away game.
City, you just have to pay.
If you go to a game, you get I think, was it whoever went to the Burnley away game got like 100 points or whatever, and it all
Yeah,
kinda
but like
gets
the
added on.
problem with Brighton, you only get like 5 accessible tickets, don't you?
That's what
That depends on club by club. Like Crystal Palace gave us 20 something for last night.
And yet, who was it only gave you 5 accessible tickets? Like, I don't think
only
that's.
got 5 apparently.
I don't think that's fair, personally.
That's what they were starting to do at Leeds, though. Somewhat similar, where if you went to the Liverpool game, you could apply to get pre-sale or early access tickets for the West Ham game or something stupid like that. So you've got to have gone to like one game to be able to get early access to the tickets for another.
Or no, to get like any access for City games, like for the Leeds ones, still right now, you have to have been to 3 fixtures at the Etihad and be paying like 40 quid to be a Citizen Matchday member.
How much was a pint at the Etihad, by the way? Because
£5.25.
£6.25 at Arsenal.
Yeah, but we get free Haribos.
Yeah, we got free Haribos because of the disabled one. They just called him they.
She thought I was a child, didn't she?
Right, we still aren't sure whether it was like, is it a child? Is it for disabled people? Like, what's the whole deal here?
Hey, if they thought you were a child, you might have to.
Hey, I'm taking free shit. I'll take it.
We'll take it.
Oh, right, when I were in Leeds, we went to the Kirkgate market, like the outside market.
Yeah.
Oh, the knockoff shirts there are horrendous.
Oh, no, I've seen them. I've seen them in the past.
So the 3rd shirt from last season, the one that's got like the paisley print on it,
Yeah.
I need a new one of them because mine's gone all weird at the back. And I looked at it and I was like, that's so cheap and bad.
BHK, that's the answer.
Yeah.
Quite a few people selling football shirts on Facebook Marketplace. Leeds shirts especially. Now, some of them do look pretty decent.
Yeah.
But other ones, you can totally tell that they're not.
They're so bad, honestly.
I remember when Damien, you'll know, and Sarah, you'll know. Arron, I'm not saying anything about your age, but I remember the days where, like, home shirts used to last 2 years, and then you had the away shirt, but then the following year the away shirt would become the 3rd shirt for the
Isn't
following
that what Brighton
season.
have done this season, Damien?
We still do the away as the 3rd, but our home changes every year, and so does our away.
The home used to be every 2 years, a home kit.
So did our aways a lot of the time, especially when we were in League One. It used to be for 2 seasons.
There seems to be an ongoing thing as well with the new shirts where after 3 or 4 washes, the print's coming off. Doesn't matter what you buy.
I've spent in the last year on 6 shirts. I've got all 3 shirts this season, all 3 shirts last season. It's cost me nearly 300 quid.
I'm not going to talk about how many shirts I have from last season.
Right, go on, Sarah. Go on, Sarah. I've muted myself. Everybody else do the same. Off you go. Off you go.
7. I have 7 shirts from last season. I have the home away thirds that were like 50 odd, 60 odd quid each. And then I got the stadium jerseys at the end of the year because they went down to 18 quid each.
I bet that's cost you over 400 quid.
But I don't pay for them. My parents do because I don't have many hobbies.
Fair enough.
So my dad's bought me my home shirt and my away shirt for this season because I'm not getting the 3rd shirt. But he won on the lottery, so he bought me the home shirt because he won like 100 quid. So he bought me the home shirt.
Sarah's dad, if you're watching, my name's I'd quite like the new Leeds United 3rd shirt. So
I've just paid for that for him. Do you know, like, so I said, right, I phoned my brother up, we're in the Leeds shop, and I was like, right, you know we don't have out for Dad's birthday in November. So they've got the shirt here for like 60 odd quid. So if you pay for half of it, I'll pay for half of it.
It's so expensive, man. 60 odd quid.
He wants the goalkeeper shirt, the blue one, but they don't have it in his size. They've only got it in like kid size, which I can fit into. That's how I get cheap shirts. I fit into the 15 to 16-year-old kid shirt.
I mean, I don't know if Arron or Reece have found it. We've had this discussion.
Oh, about the sizing of the shirts.
One of my Brighton shirts is a large and one is a medium.
Yeah.
But they fit exactly the same.
If they've had from the same season?
Yeah.
I'm going to say because often it all depends on the manufacturer. So
I have a medium from last season, I have a small from this season, and the 15 to 16-year-old kids is bigger than the small adults.
Yeah, somebody said that about one of the new Leeds shirts on Twitter. That
It's stupid.
I think some of the manufacturers might have messed up somewhere along the line.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
This is a medium from 2 seasons ago, and it's massive on me.
I think it all does depend on who's making the kit, because Nike and Adidas always seems to fit smaller than...
The England shirts are massive. Like,
Yeah,
I've
they
got a
come out with it.
medium.
Yeah. Mine are
I've got
quite-
a medium from, like, the New England shirt. I've got a medium, and it's, like, dead baggy on me, and I'm like...
I always prefer my football shirts to be a little bit tighter, though. I don't
Same,
know why.
I prefer the tighter fit shirts
Yeah.
than the,
Same.
like, being dead baggy here. They'll flap in the wind at games.
I
mean,
do
it's the
have
same
quite a
upgrade,
lot. I do have quite a lot of 90s Leeds shirts, which, going back to the 90s, the shirts were so baggy. There were no
Yeah.
fit or anything.
The last
mean,
time my
with
dad
upgrade,
bought
I
me a
got the
Leeds
large.
shirt. Yeah, the last time my dad bought me a Leeds shirt was when I was like 11 or 12, and I tried it on when I was at college because my tutor was a United fan, so I used to take the piss out of him, and I went in wearing a Leeds shirt one day, and it still fit me when I was like 17, and it was like an 11 to 12-year-olds, and I'm like,
Class.
thank you for watching today, guys, and we will be back with another serving of Penal-Tea Time next week.
See you all. Bye bye.
Saying, but